Star Wars fans, Rule of the Galaxy fans. It is Joe in the pilot seat, and we're doing a quick special show. We're going to have a main show on later on this week with Miss Jessica of, the Duchess of Darksaber Light will be leading the next show. But right now, Chapter 137, a quick Kenobi special with myself and my co-host, Alfie Molinaro. Alfie, how you doing? Alfie, you were on mute, so that was great. And he should be back any minute. While Alfie's getting ready, I will let you know, you can always follow us at Rule the Galaxy SW on Twitter, and you can email us at ruletheGalaxySW@gmail.com. You can follow us at Rule the Galaxy on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Instagram. It's Rule the Galaxy SW. Last but not least, if you want a great Rule the Galaxy hat or shirt or sweatshirt, you can come to me directly because I have extras right now. So you can come to me directly, just DM us. Or you can go to our Etsy page, just go to etsy.com and then hit Rule the Galaxy, all one word, all caps, Rule the Galaxy. And if you're in the south side of Indy, just letting you know, for all you local Central Indiana people, go visit my daughter Emily at Big B Coffee. She has some of our Rule the Galaxy stickers to hand out. So I think Alfie is back live. Alfie, are you with us?
I think so. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
We're doing old Verizon commercials now together. Alfie,
it's the classic.
That's right. Never goes out of style. Alfie has Miss Azalea joining him. She's chiming in and watching him do the podcast live with me today. And Alfie and I are going to try something different. We're going to focus just on Kenobi, and with it just around the corner. And wow, sorry, D-Doc was just sending me some messages. With Kenobi right around the corner, so far we've had the two teaser trailers. Well, teaser trailer and regular trailer, Alfie. So I thought you and I would watch those, talk about them, and get ourselves ready for Kenobi, which is less than 2 weeks away.
I can't believe it.
I know, me either. You know what I was thinking about before we start in? I have no Kenobi gear, no hat, no shirt of Kenobi at all. I'm not sure they make a lot of Kenobi gear. So,
yeah, you would think as popular as he is,
yes.
But I mean, it doesn't really change a whole lot. So it's kind of a one and done unless you add the Clone Wars armor.
There you go. And most of them would just say hello there on them.
Right.
So we're going to try this out. We're going to bring on the teaser trailer. So those of you who are watching on YouTube, you'll be able to check that out, watch that while we're talking about it. And then we'll also bring on the official trailer right after that. So we're going to give this a try. We're going to share our screen here. And sorry if you're seeing all behind the curtain, but those of you listening on the podcast, you'll just be able to hear us talking about it. So boom, there we are. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see probably a small Joe, a small Alfie, and we've got YouTube pulled up in front of us with the trailer. So Alfie, let's see, it's been 2 months since the teaser trailer came out, and the official trailer for the most recent one came out on May 4th, correct?
Right.
Okay, so we are chomping at the bit, and let's just jump right into it. I tried to write notes, but we'll be able to pause this as we're going through it. But we're excited. December, May 27th on Disney Plus. Joe, get your notes straight. Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Kenobi show, the streaming service will be out. 6 of them, 2 on May 27th, and then the other 4 every Wednesday after that. Correct? Am I right on that?
I believe so. And if you think about it, I mean, this is what, 6 years in the making?
Yeah, it was supposed to be a movie, then possibly a trilogy, then back to a movie, then nothing, and now a streaming show. So I think I'll take the streaming.
I think it'll be a very good streaming show.
Agreed. And you know, while I miss going to the movies for Star Wars things, I if they're going to be done, I want them done right. So I say while the iron's hot here on Disney Plus, let's run with that and go with it until we get proven differently. But I am looking forward to the day where we go back and watch a movie together for Star Wars. So hey, real quick before I press play on this and get going, you just had a birthday the other day. How old did you turn,
Yes,
Alfie?
I did. 45.
45. And that is
Mhm.
because you were born how many days before Star Wars came out?
So it would be like 9 days, I think. Was it the 24th?
25th. Yeah.
25th. Yeah, so 9 days.
9 days before Star Wars came out, Alfie came out. There we go. Just let you guys know who are listening and following and viewing. So
The epic couple of weeks.
that's right. That's right. So let's jump into the teaser trailer here. Let's see how this goes. We'll just stop it as it goes. Can you see it okay while you're watching?
Yes.
Rock on. So we had Kenobi bringing the Yopi into Tatooine. You tell me if you want to stop on anything. His lines so far, it's over. We lost. Painful. And let's just stop it right there because
you got to stop it right there.
I mean, I watched The Phantom Menace the other night. I want to get myself very prepared for this show. So my plan is to watch Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, and then watch a lot of the key episodes of Clone Wars to get myself ready for this show right here. So, but we're looking in front of us and we're seeing Luke Skywalker is sitting at the Lars homestead over one of the entranceways. Basically, what? Either flying his T-16 in his mind or flying a pod racer?
I would think so. He's got the goggles on. It just brings that image of young Anakin in the pod racer.
Yep. And after watching The Phantom Menace the other day, it brings you right to it.
Right.
To go along with it, we're playing some great music in the background of this, which brings you right back to that prequel / going into the Revenge of the Sith kind of music. So always great to hear that kind of stuff. But yeah, seeing the Lars homestead again and watching Obi-Wan watch it from far away with his, what are those? Are they binocs? I don't even know what Star Wars term they use for binoculars. but yeah, watching it from a distance is very cool. And seeing this image of young Luke, who's what at this time 9 or 10 years old, right?
Yeah, I think 9 or 10.
Okay, so we'll kick play again here.
And those are wouldn't those still be the Jedi issued from the Clone Wars? I think he used those.
Probably. You are probably correct on that. Now, if he's just going to go underwater and using the breather that he used from the Phantom Menace, that would be all right. So stay hidden. Obviously, this line comes up in the next trailer as well. So kind of cool that we don't know where it's actually dropped in, but it's said in both of the trailers. So here he is, that famous look staring off in the future, and then Duel of the Fates kicks in.
That gets you going.
It does. And I'm going to stop here. Grand Inquisitor starts talking about, the key to searching for Jedi or finding Jedi is patience. But this is the Inquisitor ship, correct? Going to, you guys know more about Fallen Order, but this actual fortress that he's going to, that's from Fallen Order. Is that correct?
Yes, that is. The Enzo, what's the Inquisitor's castle called? Yeah, from Fallen Order.
Fortress Inquisitoris.
Fortress Inquisitoris.
Wow. Okay. I'm going to write that down while we're watching this here. Fortress Inquisitoris. A little Harry Potter feel to it. So again, we're flashing back now. Now the Grand Inquisitor who is just speaking is popping up and back on Tatooine. You can see behind him there the awnings and the archways, typical Tatooine fare. We have no idea who this person is right here, do we? That he's facing?
No. And you can see the other two Inquisitors behind him, flanking him on the right and left.
I see that, the brother and the sister, right and left. Okay. So you keep pointing out all this good stuff while I zoom from the 30,000 foot view. People will talk about the face again. I'm not really overly concerned about the Grand Inquisitor's head or shape. If you think about the things we saw in Clone Wars or Rebels, obviously they're going to be slightly different when we get to live action, right?
And also some things do get improved upon after a trailer is released. some things do have some rough kind of edits. So I don't know. Will it look different? I don't know. I'm not going to get hung up on it either. I mean, it is what it is.
It is 100% is what it is. But you know what? I loved the character of the Grand Inquisitor in Rebels. I will say this: Jason Isaacs, I believe that's his name, correct? Jason. I love him in pretty much everything he does, whether it's the Patriot, whether it's Harry Potter. Now, the Rebels. Love him in everything he does. So I would have loved to have had him in this role, but this character right here, I forget this actor's name.
Is it last name Purdue?
I thought it was Friend or Friend or Friend.
Yes, yeah.
Rupert.
Yes.
Rupert Friend, I believe. I'm sure he'll do very well. They wouldn't put him in a role like this. It's such a key role.
One thing I really like about him, at least this line of dialogue, doesn't it have a real Thrawn feeling to it?
It does.
Very cold, calculated.
Yes.
I'm anxious to. I really feel, and I'm going to get ahead of myself here a little bit, but there's one line from A New Hope that I think is going to be a big part of this series. And that is when Obi-Wan tells Luke that Vader helped hunt and destroy the Jedi. I think we all kind of thought that was Order 66, and I don't think that's it. I think it's going to be in this series.
I would love to see that. To see somebody put a list the other day on social media of all the Jedi that they know for sure from canon type situations that made it past Order 66. And I think we all agree, while it's great, you want to see all these, having it be Luke, Yoda, and Ben, and now Ahsoka, that smaller little group makes it feel like it's that much more of a big deal that the Rebels beat the Empire in the original trilogy. If you've got 25 Jedi out there bouncing around, across the universe, it probably doesn't feel as, awe-inspiring that happened.
I agree.
But I mean, we do know Ezra supposedly and Ahsoka will be there after Return of the Jedi. But other than that, we don't have anything after Return of the Jedi. But it would be great to see some of them killed off by Vader and the Inquisitors in this series right here.
I agree.
So we don't know who this gentleman is. Grand Inquisitor talking to him. That line, Jedi cannot help what they are, absolutely fabulous. And we just saw on Book of Boba Fett trains going across the desert of Tatooine.
Right.
And here we are seeing a passenger train do the same thing on Kenobi. So that's pretty cool. Nothing stands out on this view besides the words there, does it? Ben just contemplating?
To me, it does, because it almost looks like a workforce.
Okay. Like a imprisoned crew.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to think of Tatooine is kind of run like a prison. Somebody's in charge, and you have all your underlings that do the manual labors. Obi-Wan has to make a living somehow, right? He's got to eat.
This is true. I mean, it's not like he's just flush with cash sitting out in his little house that was left behind.
Would it be, that would be interesting. Does he have like a regular day job?
Oh man, Obi-Wan going to work every day. I like this. Yeah, the 9 to 5 for Obi-Wan. He can't take the Eopie everywhere he's going.
No.
So this, he's like on the transit system, in downtown New York, heading off to work, right? I mean,
right.
Okay, I'm digging that. I like this. Is Obi-Wan going to work? Is this a prison camp? Where is this going? Or is he just going into town, right? So lots of things to look at with that. Jedi cannot help what they are. I love that line. So we've got, in the next view, we've got the sister, the brother, and then there's another sister that has like tentacles coming off of her head, or
kind of looks like it,
or pipes or tubes coming off her head. And it looks like they're underwater in that fortress.
Right. They are.
Okay. So it definitely looks very empirical. Has the same feel as like a Death Star. It has the same feel of Camino being the underwater. So I like this a lot. Good view, sitting around a table, having conversations there. Okay. That right there. I'll go real quick back. How crazy is it to think that we're going to see somebody hanging There's their feet hanging in the town square in Tatooine.
Yeah, that's a little harsh, but I think
Dark.
this is live action. This isn't Rebels anymore.
Right.
The Inquisitors and Rebels were, they were bad. They worked for Vader, but they came across in a very cartoony Team Rocket kind of way. They're just always there in the way, and the good guys always get away. They're a threat, but they're not that big of a threat because it's a cartoon.
And they were the filler of the void until we get to Vader.
Right.
Right. I mean,
live action, I think it's really going to kick it up a notch on how ruthless the Inquisitors are at finding Jedi.
Tying up some loose ends. We saw a gentleman talking to the Grand Inquisitor earlier. We didn't know who he was. He probably was somebody they were questioning. He might not have answered, and this might be his feet hanging in the town square after he wouldn't give up the answers the Grand Inquisitor was looking for.
Right.
So just, putting breadcrumbs together, see if that comes out. Again, the sister, and boom, there's Owen Lars looking right at her. How crazy is it? He's going to play a decent role in this show.
Right. How, like you said, putting these breadcrumbs together, obviously they're chasing someone. So we're going to assume it's a Jedi. So you have, the Inquisitor hit squad here. And in the crowd, could there be Obi-Wan Kenobi and Luke Skywalker, feet away from them?
Right.
And they never know it.
And so here we go. We make the jump. We're away from Tatooine now. We're on the planet. I know we've heard the name before. I'm sure you probably know it from the different things you've read. I don't remember it, but
I don't remember.
Kind of looks like Hong Kong. It's tons of buildings stacked on top of each other, tons of neon, tons of lights. Here's the one of the sisters. I believe this is Riva. Is that her name?
Yes.
Yeah. Riva is the sister's name here. And, all the other Inquisitors seem to have some kind of mask, helmet, tubing, whatever on her. She's the only one that looks like is completely humanized right here.
Right. And another point to add on to that, it's kind of odd that she has a name.
True. Instead of second sister, fifth brother, she's going by Riva. Are we assuming that she is an Inquisitor? Maybe she's someone in the Empire. We don't really know that for sure, do we? Has she been said she's an Inquisitor?
I think in the art, the stuff that I've read, official things that I've read, that she is an Inquisitor.
Okay.
She does have the lightsaber.
Okay. All right. Yes, she does. She'll have that show up here in just a minute.
So will her name be something that plays into a backstory? Or
that's a good question. Hold on one second. Let me take care of some. You keep focused on Riva in the city. I'll be right back.
I really like the city in that it kind of mirrors the asteroid city from Rogue One. Gives you that real gritty kind of Hong Kong, lots of lights, lots of people, very small streets. I thought that was portrayed very well in Rogue One, and this looks to be playing off of that kind of style.
Agreed. I'm looking forward to seeing where they go on this, which means it looks like Obi-Wan leaves Tatooine. So obviously doing a lot of focusing here. So let's see where this leads to. Okay, more. The Jedi Code is like an itch. We've seen this young lady posted on the list of characters who are going to be playing in it, kind of famous actresses. Was she in Game of Thrones? Was this?
Yes, she was.
Okay. So just an Imperial officer, obviously. It's got trees behind her, so I'm not thinking this is Tatooine.
No.
Looking some straw kind of grass behind her, trees. So we don't know where this is. But the Jedi Code is like an itch. I think that's great when you're the other side, discussing what the Jedi are like, right? They're kind of they're kind of that thing that won't go away, that a pebble in your shoe, that just lingering thing that just won't go away. And so the Jedi Code is like an itch. We see again this young lady who's the female Imperial officer on the grassy place.
It's also saying that in their scheme of strategy, we don't have to chase them.
Right.
They'll come to us.
Right.
if we do something bad enough to someone or put someone in a situation, they will have to, by their order, their creed, try to rectify that situation.
Well,
Very Thrawn-like.
It says it right below, right when we're looking at this. He cannot help it. Not they cannot help it. He cannot help it. So this is a discussion, I'm assuming, about Obi-Wan. And then, of course, we just saw one of the female inquisitors, the one we discussed earlier, with the tubes or the tendrils coming off of her head. She was walking down this alley or corridor in the planet that looks like Hong Kong. And of course, hiding with his hood up, watching her, it looks like, is Obi-Wan looking the opposite way towards her. Of course, we could be getting thrown a misdirection here, but that's the feel it gives off from this. But we do see him now off of Tatooine. So something has brought him to another location. And we'll hit play. Okay, this is where I'm going to throw this out. You can tell me what you think. That looked like a K2SO, but it wasn't. It wasn't an official one. It was like an Imperial droid, correct?
I don't know.
Like
it kind of does. And then is this droid's backside? Because the fingers look kind of metallic. Yeah.
So I'm thinking
the color scheme is wrong for an Imperial droid.
Correct. So it almost looks like something from the sequels. Remember that big yellow and blue droid they had at the end of Force Awakens? But here's this droid. I wish I knew Arabic because it has words written on it there. But my thought is this. This is the first time I watched this trailer the other day, a few times in a row. And right here, right when this looks like stormtrooper, switches what's in his hand, I'm going to throw this out there. My first guess is this is Obi-Wan Kenobi in a stormtrooper disguise.
I don't know. That'd be pretty cool.
We've seen Luke, we've seen Han, we've seen Kanan, all in stormtrooper disguises, correct?
Yeah.
I see this where he doesn't have the lightsaber. Whatever he's got in his hand there, can't tell if it's a gun. Can't tell.
Looks like a hammer.
A hammer. I feel like because he doesn't want to bring that saber out, right? He doesn't want people to know who he is. So my fear or my theory is this, and we'll see it later on, is that right there, that trooper is Obi-Wan Kenobi in disguise. Okay, here he is. That was him, I believe, jumping over that from one city building to another. Then we go right to the Inquisitor. I know we're bouncing around a lot. So Obi-Wan looks like jumps from city or building to building. We go right to the Inquisitor right here with a bald gentleman in front of him that looks a lot like. Who are you guessing on that bald gentleman? This time?
It looks. Your first guess is that it's Tamara Morrison.
Correct.
And we're going to wish that it's Captain Rex or Cody. But and they got some weird. Is that a design? Is that an implant on the back of their head?
Is it a scar?
Is it a scar? I don't know.
Is it where the chip was taken out of their head?
Maybe. I mean, it all makes sense, but
also right now, think about it. There's probably how many clones still walking around? Because we see in Rebels, they find the clones off retired, hunting the Jupa or whatever on that planet.
And in Bad Batch, they ship all the clones off to the clone farm or wherever.
Like the dogs.
Yeah. I don't know.
So it doesn't have to be Cody or Rex, but they all look like Cody or Rex.
Right.
So this could just be a clone that they found who was trying to live in society, all that kind of stuff. But already the Grand Inquisitor looks better in this view right here.
Right. Yeah.
He already looks better just in this pose and leaning forward with his spinning lightsaber with this character right here. Okay, we've got, what is he, the fifth brother or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. I can't remember exactly.
Now in the official trailer, we see this from the other side. We see this from behind the troopers coming in. Again, though, he's in the city that looks like, a large metropolitan city, like we've been talking about, like a Hong Kong kind of setup. Here he is walking the streets with the troopers. Okay, were those pods or were those ships? Those look
we see them better in the second trailer, but they look like pods. Are they probe droids?
That's where I was thinking, because I would think they'd be sending them out all over looking for certain things, right? These last few seconds here are going to get really hectic and crazy. So as you see stuff and want me to stop, let me know. But I'm going to go with their probe droids right now but they do kind of look like escape pods.
They do. And we're leaning into this shot right here.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I'm just going to take a guess here that this is the Jedi they're after.
Oh, okay. On Tatooine.
On Tatooine. And
who could it be with brown hair that we know of already, or maybe this is someone we don't know of?
I would guess it's probably going to be someone we don't know of. I hope we get a little bit of backstory.
Yeah.
Everything Filoni does, it seems like he puts Order 66 in. And I know that he's just a producer on this.
Right.
Right. So, but I would assume we're going to get an Order 66 shot.
Okay. So here we see Reva with the Inquisitor lightsaber. And we see this. My first thought was this was Owen Lars, and that they were coming and questioning him, or thinking he was kind of because I just the hair, the get up, it just made me think that. But I like your theory better, that it's a Jedi that's trying to hide in plain sight. That would make more sense, or at least it would go along with the story, so that Owen Lars doesn't have to like rat out Obi-Wan Kenobi or anything like that. Let's see here. Some more Arabesh. Looks like Obi-Wan possibly in the dark. And was that an Inquisitor versus Obi-Wan in an alley?
I kind of think so, but then again, I don't know. It goes so fast.
It does. This is the great thing about Hollywood, is they throw so much at you in the last 10 seconds that we're seeing like 10 different scenes meshed together.
Right. And from the next trailer that this is Obi-Wan against some bounty hunters. And then in that hallway with the Inquisitor, he was fighting some bounty hunters hand to hand.
Yes.
So I would think it's Obi-Wan.
So top of the buildings again in that city. Okay. Everybody's saying those aren't the birds related to Ahsoka. After seeing the Vanity Fair thing, we have no idea if that's true or not. But like we said, things change shape and style from live action to animated. And I know they're animated or CGI or what have you, but man, it's just weird to see those with that tail coming out behind them.
And again, here, Filoni is a super fan. He's us, times 1,000. He knows what this image right here is going to make us think. Those aren't the birds, but of course we associate that.
Yep.
Hey, those are the birds. Where have we seen birds in Star Wars before? They're pretty rare, and especially be part of a story.
The Sister on Mortis and Ahsoka are the only two places, right? I mean,
well, yeah, but there was the big blue parrot thing in episode 1 in the meeting room on the droid ship.
Oh gosh, you're hitting that. Yeah. That one's one passed right by me, and I just watched episode 1 last night. Yeah, so
it's there.
Okay. Oh yes, because it was used in a book. Remember, they were going to kill his bird for him to turn. Wasn't that part of Sidious's plan?
I think so.
He gave him some rare bird and said he could kill it from a far distance. And
oh yeah,
come on, man, come on. If I'm right on that, somebody's
birds in Star Wars.
Birds in Star Wars, and tell me that Sidious was not trying to kill a bird of one of the Neimoidians. Anyway, so we see the birds. Hope survives, which everyone hopes does happen, and Obi-Wan. So, and you hear a slight Vader breath at the end of that. I don't know. That first trailer was awesome and got me so pumped that I can't believe we got the official trailer later, because it was, I mean,
well, that's usually the way it works.
I'm saying I thought that's all we were gonna get was that one.
Right.
Like, I didn't think we were gonna get the second one. You knew what I meant. Come on.
I knew what you meant. I just like giving you a hard time.
By the way, I am going to be looking through my photo albums here in a little bit to find our pictures from episode 1, episode 2, and episode 3. If I find them, be prepared. I will post them when we were youngsters and didn't know what we were doing with our lives. So that was pretty cool. We got that one, and then boom, May the 4th. we're all sitting there thinking, what's going to hit us? What's going to get to us? And here comes part 2, the official trailer of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Let's check it out here. I love how the words go away. Okay, I'll let you tell me. Any ship that I should know to start this one out?
No, it really doesn't look familiar to me.
Me either. And it almost looks like a ship from Naboo. Almost looks like a Gungan ship. But obviously it's probably not. Unless Jar Jar's back.
Yeah, that's the one cameo everyone is hoping to see is more Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar Binks. Okay, so it's going to that large city we were looking at. Here's that reverse order of the brother and its troopers. What a great picture right here.
I love that they just land in the middle of the street.
Yep. Hey, you peons, we're landing in your street and we're just going to walk right down it. We don't.
Yeah, what are you going to do about it?
And they look really ominous, don't they?
Yes.
I mean, if that was walking down the street at you, I think you get out of the way. Grand Inquisitor, Reva, and again, I'm thinking it's the 5th brother from Rebels. My memory from Rebels is not that good, but it looks like the guy who was in Rebels. Which you'd think, come on, throw the second sister in there so you have Sarah Michelle Gellar's character back. But that's another story for another time. Let's see here. Okay, so we're back in that scene. There's Owen. There's the brother. We saw the other view where the sister was in it. And I'm guessing this is where the feet are dangling of the person they hung out in the square.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, just throwing it out there. Seemed like a scene that would put, a lot of weight into it there. But then again, this could all be from episode 1 and episode 2, right? Isn't that what they usually do to us?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think most of this footage is from 1 and 2.
Again, going back to the same guy with the Grand Inquisitor on Tatooine, questioning them. Should we bet money right now this is the guy who's hanging, or is it somebody else?
I think it's somebody else.
You think it's that Jedi, don't you?
Yes, I 100% think it's the Jedi.
Okay. All right.
I think that's who Obi-Wan in the first trailer is talking to and telling him to hide.
Ah, okay. So we see the picture, the thing of Luke and Obi-Wan watching him from a distance again, which is great. This line right here.
Yeah, that's good.
Comes, he must be trained like you trained his father. I mean,
that's straight out of the comics.
Yeah, you and I have been talking about this for months. How we've been going back and throwing Brent for a loop and D-Doc for a loop, saying, man, in the comics and in old EU, there was stuff about Owen and Obi-Wan going at it. They were fighting. They were at each other's throats. And I mean, this is just gonna be awesome to see that actually take place and to get that true story behind what's going on there.
Like I keep saying, we grew up with a image of Owen Lars, and I think this is really going to flip that to where you understand why he was the way he was.
I hope so.
Amberu was one way because she was a loving mother figure.
Yep.
Owen, to me, now seems like he was trying more than we would have ever thought to protect Luke Skywalker. It's like I've said before, he knows what hope does Luke Skywalker have.
Yep.
Once he's discovered.
You know what this reminds me of? Okay, I mentioned it earlier, a little Harry Potter feel.
Right.
Think about Harry Potter. The guy who you thought was the bad guy all the way through 6 or 7 of those 7 or 8 movies turns out to be the guy who was behind the scenes trying to help the thing the whole time.
Right.
And it flips the switch of what you think of him.
Right.
So I'm hoping that because they've got a great actor to play Owen, and
well, think about that scene of Luke wanting to go to the academy, and just by the acting that they've had this conversation many times, and it's been one excuse after another. And now you think about it, it's like, well, what would have happened if somebody showed up at the Imperial Academy with the last name Skywalker? Hey,
we're going through HR here.
Yeah. We're going to need to see you upstairs.
Can we get his ID checked, please? It's a very rare name. We've only had a few of them.
Right.
Usually cause a little trouble. Yeah, no, good call on that. Good call. Okay, so this is Riva walking on the fortress, correct?
Right. And this shot is interesting to me because remember this shot.
Okay, I'm looking. I see TIE fighters. I
You see
see
the shuttles.
I see a shuttle. I see
Yeah.
Imperials. So you're thinking this is where Vader shows up.
No, I'm not saying that, but we'll get to another shot at the end of the trailer, I think. That's interesting to me.
One person that I do want to see in this is actually Tarkin. They made him look great in Rogue One. That the technology's gotten nothing but better. The actor's still alive who was playing him in Rogue One. What better way? I mean, Tarkin showed up in Rebels talking to Inquisitors.
Tarkin's a great character. I mean, Imperials,
yeah,
for the most part, are great characters. You know, because they can all be driven by something different. You know, the flip of Tarkin and Krennic in Rogue One.
Yep.
They're just always so interesting.
I love it. I love it. Let's see. A great scene though. I mean, just the scenery just looks wonderful.
Again, I love the use of red in the Imperials.
Always. You still want Kenobi. Who's
pause it right there.
Okay, so that Imperial lady who was on Game of Thrones is to the right. The fifth brother, Riva, one of the sisters right there. The one, does she have the tubes on her head? Is that the lady or is that a different one?
I think that's the lady.
She's got a helmet on with it looks like that on there. Troopers, they're looking at that table we saw on the first one. Can you see what planet they're looking at there?
I haven't. I looked it up, and it's got some really, really far-reaching EU Easter egg to it, but I cannot for the life of me remember. I should have written it down. But another interesting thing in this shot is if you look in the back right corner,
I'm just seeing that
lightsabers, and it looks like a Padawan helmet.
I see that completely right there in the back. Wow. Interesting. Padawan helmet, lightsabers. Any reckoning as to what that might be or why?
Trophies.
Okay. The Inquisitors grabbing them as they go along?
Yeah, little General Grievous action.
Okay. I like it. This looks like a great scene though. Just great all the way around. Very good in detail. He's gone. Now who would have said he's gone? Somebody said he's gone. When they said you still want Kenobi, he's gone. I don't know. It wasn't Vader. Here's those gosh. Escape pods or probe droids?
I don't know. There is a shot of a probe droid in this, but that looks different to me a little bit. You know, one thing that we love about the Empire is this, you know, as you get to the next level, their stuff is just a little bit different. It's all the same equipment that they have, but it gets a little different. So will this be like a Jedi Hunter probe or something?
Okay.
That's specifically for the Inquisitors.
Okay. It can test midichlorians in the air.
I don't know. Maybe going back to kind of like that Dark Empire EU stuff, you know, of the Jedi hunters, you know, you had like specific ships for hunting Jedi or transporting Jedi.
Okay. Well, I mean, they've shown them twice now. So something's got to be going. It's in both trailers.
Right.
So those have to play some importance here. But I love seeing them. Okay. That's them going the other way. Gosh, I can't tell. They go by so fast. I can't tell if it's probe droids or something else. Or, you know, one-man small ships that are being launched in some kind of secrecy or something.
Yeah. Are they hunting someone?
Right. Okay. All right.
Does it go back to the map they were just looking at? Do they have a lead on a Jedi?
Well, I mean, because then you see the ship go into this city right here.
Right.
Or into this planet. So Riva, again, same kind of look as we saw in the teaser trailer. Her standing on the buildings, looking out over a city. Okay. So I did cheat. someone told me that says Obi-Wan Kenobi wanted, but it doesn't say dead or alive. They want Obi-Wan Kenobi trapped or captured.
Right. Is there just a Jedi yearbook that they got this picture from?
Man, I shouldn't have worn that for my junior
Yeah.
year. My my mom picked that out. Yeah. So Obi-Wan Kenobi though, they do have. I mean, that's straight out of the prequels, right?
Yeah, that looks right out of Revenge of the Sith.
It's like what they used to create the character for the action figures right there. Yeah, I can't remember who it was. I heard somebody talking about on another podcast saying they actually went, looked through the airbrush. It said Obi-Wan Kenobi, Jedi, wanted, dangerous, all that kind of stuff, but it did not say dead or alive. It was basically saying, we want this guy, we want him trapped, we want him captured, So, but is this going out to Imperials, or is this going to, as she says later, every lowlife, every scum, every bounty hunter? Just
looks like that scene from The Mandalorian where they're looking for Mayfield in the Republic computers. So yeah, is this going out to bounty hunters? I would assume so.
Okay, was that 4 LOM, 4 LOM, or was that
it looks like them?
Or is it going to be 5 LOM or 5 LOM? Because IG88, IG11.
Well, this would be before. So is it 3?
You're right. 3 LOM. We'll go with that for right now. But I did like the coloring. The eyes had the neon green in it. So we have Obi-Wan with a gun, so uncivilized, on top of that building, fighting with the bounty hunter. Okay, that's a Zabrak.
Right. And that looks like the hallway from the first trailer.
Yes, it does.
And Obi-Wan's a good shot if you remember from the bounty hunter episodes. Yeah.
Yep. When he was, when he got involved with the bounty hunters, what was that guy's name that he took over, played his role in that one where he faked his death?
I don't know.
Clone Wars. Reek? No. I'll know it when I see it. Yeah. So here's Obi-Wan fighting Zabrak. So he tends to meet up with those guys. Okay, we're back to the Inquisitor. Okay, here is Reva with Purge Troopers.
It looks like it.
And Stormtroopers.
Doesn't this look like a reverse shot of the beginning? And she has her blade drawn.
Yep. So in other words, last time she was walking in, no blade drawn. Right. This time walking out with blade drawn. And they would probably have that many people in there if there were other guest Imperials showing up, like we saw in the background when she was walking into this fortress.
Right.
Fortress Inquisitoris. Okay, this is where I had the idea that Obi-Wan stole the Stormtrooper outfit. He's out there. He's beating up Stormtroopers, fighting with them with guns. There's an Imperial probe droid behind him, isn't it? So he took that out, or someone did. Then how do you hide in plain sight? You go right into one of those Stormtrooper outfits and go into town because they're looking for him.
Right. And this looks like the planet from the first trailer with the Imperial officer. Very brushy.
With the trees. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's not Tatooine. And does this look like the train that he was on, or is that?
I don't know. That looks like something else.
It does. It does. But yeah, I love the scenes of him with the action, fighting, hand-to-hand combat, the gunplay. We're so used to seeing him with the lightsaber. You have to wonder, is he even going to pull that out until like the last episode? Right?
I would think only from Vader being involved in this series, I think it's probably going to be sooner than that.
Okay.
That's going to be the last ditch effort he has to get away from the Inquisitors.
I got you. Well, I mean, he's got to do what he's got to do. If you're at your last,
right. And if you think about it, the galaxy's pretty much void of Jedi now.
Right.
So anything you do is going to be a major beacon to anyone that uses the dark side.
Just like Kanan said. He was like, you're going to let me in on the secret? Kid, I'm going to let everybody in on it.
Right.
And that's what he's going to be doing right here. That crazy old wizard who's been fighting people out in the desert is going to bring out the lightsaber. So, but I did love this scene. And again, this is watching them show a stormtrooper move his hand an odd way in the first one. Didn't mean much to me until I saw this, and I thought,
Right.
wow, there's a lot of stormtrooper gear just laying around now.
Hey, and it makes a great action figure.
Oh, nothing. Oh, yes. Obi-Wan and a stormtrooper. Oh, gosh. You got to make that in 3 3/4 at least. I mean, yes,
Right.
I want it in 6-inch Black Series, but 3 3/4, and you can have Luke, Han, him, and I've got right behind me, Kanan. Yep, Kanan and Stormtrooper. I could
Forget
have
about it.
all those together in their Stormtroopers together. I do have Luke in a Stormtrooper 6-inch Black, which you were with me when I got that.
Yeah, you beat me to that one. All right, I got 10 minutes before my computer shuts off.
Okay, so wait, there was that droid again.
Right.
Where he was fighting it. That could have been, I don't care, an Imperial whatever, vehicle what we saw with those troopers around with him fighting them.
Looks kind of rocky and cavey there. Now, right here,
yes.
Again, we're in the fortress.
Yes.
She's blocking blaster bolts with her saber drawn. So, yeah, are they escape pods? I don't know.
Yeah, and is she turning? Is she now fighting against the Empire to get out? Did something switch? Because why would you, there's no way that any kind of rebel or Obi-Wan is going to come and attack this fortress, right? Are they?
Yeah, they'd have to have a really, really good reason.
So is she against the plan they're putting together and saying, I'm not going through with this and trying to get out and get away? I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. So every Star Wars thing seems to have an Imperial that flips.
Right.
So, so let's see. So Reva, which is only one letter off from Revan, by the way.
Right. I like that.
Yeah. What is this right here? Is this a droid?
Looks like a droid to me. Okay. I think that's our hopefully our next Grogu right there. Our next BB-8.
Next BB-8. Okay.
Our next little lovable droid.
Okay, you can't escape him. Some ship's taking off.
Right.
Is she still in that fortress?
No, I think this is the Hong Kong planet.
Okay. You can't escape him. I mean, if that's Kenobi, I think she'd have been putting more effort than watching him just fly off. But then again, maybe she's not strong enough to hold the ship down like Rey.
Whew, I don't know, man. We think back to A New Hope. The conversation between Leia and Han Solo. They're letting us get away because they're tracking us.
Yep.
Maybe there's a reason. Maybe that's an ominous warning that, hey, he's going to find you. Obviously, you would think he can't hear it if he's inside that ship, but, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, and then we get the initial shot of Vader's arms being locked in, like connects. Okay, there's that sister with the tubes coming from her head. An Imperial, a different Imperial we haven't seen before. Little pudgy for an Imperial officer. And then the fifth brother there, it looks like
he also looks a little uncomfortable as far as maybe the company he's with.
Yeah. He's not real happy about that.
No.
Okay, so we saw Purge troopers and stormtroopers lining up. Look like on the fortress still, like in that landing area where she was just blocking blaster fire. Right?
Right.
Obi-Wan looking out. Vader getting the chest plate just jammed right into his stomach.
Yeah, it goes into his lungs.
Yeah. That was tough to watch. Hey, you got to do what you got to do, though, to survive, right?
Right.
And then, okay. Obi-Wan's looking pretty disheveled right here.
Right.
Looking like he's been a little dirty. He's been, beat up a little bit. He looks tired.
Right.
And I can't tell what's behind him. Can you tell what's behind him or where he might be?
No, I can't either. It's so out of focus, but
I mean, it's definitely dark. It's definitely, there's machines of some sort behind him, but I can't really tell. But man, he looks like he's pretty much on his last leg there. Just like, I'm about ready to give up. I can't keep doing this. I hate to say it, but you've seen Ozark, right?
Mm-hmm.
He looks like the Ruth's uncle
Yeah.
who got killed, who she killed with on the
Right.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
what he
could see
looks like.
that.
Yeah. And then we see him look up and hear Vader's breath. So is that where they meet? Is
That where they sense each other? I
is
don't
that where
know.
they sense each other? I'm gonna stop the share. Boom, boom. Oh, there we are, back to normal. Hopefully that's not too unappealing to people watching on YouTube, but I felt like it was better for us to talk about it while we were watching it.
Yeah.
So real quick, you have how many minutes left?
5.
5 minutes left. Let's talk real quick Vanity Fair. So
Yeah.
one, real quick, the trailers got me pumped even more.
Oh, yeah.
I was excited
Oh, yeah.
already. Can't wait. The release of that Obi-Wan figure, which I'm holding off on yet, just because I bought way too much stuff recently, and I'll buy it soon. But I don't know when. But the Vanity Fair came out, and that was awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Does that tend to make you believe that the MCU starts up during the Kenobi series, or is it just here's our tentpole characters, we're going to show them to you, Obi-Wan's there, but he's not really part of all this that's going on?
Yeah, I get the feeling that Kenobi isn't really a part of that. I think that we could all agree that started with the Mandalorian season 2. I think that was their first push into it of, hey, this is what we could do. Let's see if it'll work.
Right.
And yeah, we've talked all along, and I've said it. The people who disliked the Book of Boba Fett because Mando be having such a large role in it. I think that is going to be how the series goes.
Mm-hmm.
They're all going to connect together, and it's just like reading a book, going from chapter to chapter.
Yeah, I like that. I do think they're just using it as here's what's going to hold up the franchise for the next few years.
Right.
And these characters, with a glimpse of Vader in some of the pictures, I think that's where we're going with it. I don't know that I see Ahsoka being in this series. I don't know that I see Andor being in this series.
No.
It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan wouldn't have felt the way he did about Luke if he knew Ahsoka was bouncing around like that.
Right. And I don't want to be a downer here, but I don't have much hope for anyone in this series outside the Lars and Luke Skywalker playing any significance or surviving what happens.
And I'm perfectly okay with that, because I think it needs to focus on this story. It needs to focus on Obi-Wan, Vader, the Lars family, the Inquisitors, and maybe have you heard? I know you're the rumor guy. Have you heard? Is Leia the reason he leaves? Do you think? Yes. Okay.
I think so.
All right, that's enough for me. I know we had to keep it short, but I know we wanted to talk about it. I just wanted to zoom through it before you had to go, and before make it short. And I know you guys, most of the crew is going to do another show tomorrow, so we'll have plenty of discussion about this even again. As Jessica from the Duchess of Darksaber Light is going to lead that show. There's going to be a lot of Kenobi talk in there. But Alfie, thank you again. Happy birthday recently. 45 years old and still going strong. And to the listeners, thank you again for just giving us a listen. Again, follow us at Rule the Galaxy SW on Twitter, Rule the Galaxy on Facebook, and on YouTube. YouTube, we're doing more and more. We're putting some shorts on there. Rule the Galaxy podcast on TikTok. D-Doc is tearing that up and putting great videos on there. Rule the Galaxy SW on Instagram. Rule the Galaxy, all caps, one word, on Etsy, etsy.com. Rule the Galaxy. Go buy your shirts, your hats, your sweatshirts. Unless you're in Indy, come see me. I've got them in my house. And other than that, you got anything to close up with, Alf?
I'm just really excited about this series. I think it's going to be great.
Me too. I was nervous, but you know what? I don't think Ewan McGregor would let himself get into something that wasn't going to be great. So, great. Well, hey, Star Wars fans, thank you again. We'll be back very soon with a full episode, like in a day or so. But we appreciate you following and listening. And until next time, may the Force be with you.